Hi everyone, welcome to Veterans in Crisis podcast. Today we have Theresa Smith, and Theresa's doing a remarkable thing. She is raffling her property off, period properties it's called, and she's given some of the money to various veterans charities and good causes. Hi Theresa, you alright?
Hello, Joe. I'm good, thank you. How are
Good.
you?
Thank you for coming on. And I
My
mean, thank
pleasure.
you also for thinking of VIX when you thought of this raffle, which I think it's an ingenious idea, to be quite honest. I've bought tickets, so I hope I win. People are now going to think it's a fix now we've done this, aren't they? If I win.
They would, but it happens. Um, Rob Davison recommended VIX to be
Yeah.
part of the donations. I approached him at the end of last year with regard to National Veterans Walk, supporting what we're doing in the raffle of the property effectively. I've been here 25 years and I thought it would be nice to actually, when I decided to leave the property and effectively semi-retire, to actually do some good with it as well. And I've watched quite a number of properties successfully be completed on the raffle.com platform.
I
So
mean,
you had a wonderful facility in Roca.
yeah. We've just managed to buy it. We've been fundraising for more than a year and a half, and we only signed the papers 2 weeks ago. So we own the building now, thank God. That's been a proper
Congratulations.
slog, like not only for myself, but the anxiety has caused the veterans thinking that we would lose it, especially after all the hard work we've done. But I mean, we got it from Springboard, and they've been really good with us, waiting for the
Good.
money, and luckily we've managed to pay it all off, so we haven't got a mortgage. So I can't thank people enough, actually.
That gives you an awful lot of security, and as you
It
said,
is.
the security for the veterans
It
who
does, yeah.
utilize the premises.
It's a platform as well, because now we have some collateral. So what we're trying to do is start other businesses which makes us sustainable, so we don't have to beg for money all the time, because basically that's very draining, looking for funding all the time. If we start businesses that generate some profit that can come back into VIX, uh, that's better. That's it. That's how things like us survive. You've got to think forward and try not to just rely on people to give you money all the time. Because I mean, we've been really lucky, and the people of Sunderland took the idea of VIX to the heart, and they've helped us loads. But I don't want to always have to ask for money. Like,
Well, I hope that they'll get behind us and support our property draw, because it is on behalf of the armed forces. We also are providing a platform where you can make a donation of as little as £1 via our Facebook page, which will gives the link for that. Anyone donating has the opportunity to let us know which charities they would like us to support from our chosen list, of course. So we're hoping that people in the Northeast will get behind us on that.
I'm sure they're going to get behind you. So if we start, because you said you've been here 25 years, do you want to tell us why you chose Sunderland to move to?
I was born in Sunderland
All right.
and left the UK in 1974 when I immigrated to Australia.
Did you wait for us to win the FA Cup then go?
I did, yes.
Good idea. Good
That
idea.
was a big event, wasn't it? Yeah. So I came back to the UK in 1983 and 1983 and possibly 1988, 89. And it's amazing how you tend to come back to your roots. So I've been in this building for 25 years now. I used to work from this floor in my practice of psychology-based counselling. But now I'm working from the lower ground floors. So there's plenty of scope in the property. It has A1, A2, A3 planning permissions. The cost of a ticket is a £5. So it's not a huge investment. And I think this is one thing that Rob Devison liked about it. He saw the value in investing £5 and supporting veterans at the same time.
That's a brilliant idea, absolutely brilliant. And that like if people or when people click onto the link, you get to see around, and I think it looks brilliant.
So there's the opportunity to keep the building or just flip it for a fast turnover.
Do you want to buy it back when I want it? I tell you,
that might complicate things a little bit, Joe.
It would. I would. People definitely think it's a fix. Then what I like about the ground floor, it looks like a studio, and my daughter does like musical theatre. That's what she's wanting to go to college and stuff to do that. So if I win it, that can
You
be a
need to win
studio.
it. Yes. How old is your daughter, Joe?
16.
Oh,
16.
lovely age.
She's just got she's got to do some kind of audition, but because of COVID, she's got to do it by video, so she needs a place. So I tell you what, why don't you let her come in and do a video in downstairs? That'd be an idea.
Yes, that would be a great idea. I'm happy for her to do that.
Well, I'll tell her she'll be over the moon with that, and that's even before we've won it.
Right, more than happy to do that. And we keep social distancing. I work downstairs from the premises, and it's difficult with COVID, and it's a matter of just sterilizing everything in between clients.
Well, which
it's important to maintain a service for people who have emotional and mental health problems.
It is. That's why we haven't closed for the whole time. We've stayed open the whole time because, well, basically you cannot have a service with crisis in the title and close when there's a crisis, can you? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, we even thought of from the beginning, because the general public's helped us so much. We've been helping anybody, not just veterans, just because of the community spirit around here. You know, it's no different to us to drop some extra food off to somebody else just because they're not a veteran. Doesn't make any difference.
Look, they're human beings, and it's great work that you do.
Cheers.
I'm amazed that you don't do this full time.
I do.
Oh, you do now?
Yeah.
I was sure Rob told me that you worked elsewhere as well.
Yeah, 2 jobs. So I would work 18-hour days.
So it is full time plus.
Yeah. It's my lifestyle. It's not. I haven't got timings. So I started it by myself, just with a £10 pay-as-you-go mobile phone in January 2018. Now we've got 5 paid staff, and we own the building.
And a wonderful premises right on the seafront.
Yeah, so it's great. It's great. It's got like a drop-in downstairs, then an emergency apartment. Then the next floor is a therapy centre, and then the next floor is a podcast studio.
Right. Is it which you get counselling via a charity, don't you?
Yes, we do. We get from Anxious Minds, veterans and families. Yes. They come out once a week to do counselling. All day Friday. We have we put in referrals, and then they get an hour. So it takes about a week rather than people waiting months and months and months. We send a lot of people to the new Up Courage, which is the sort of the health service veterans thing. So it starts off with TILs and goes right up to the high intensity service.
Excellent.
So that's the official route to go down.
There's a lot of people slip through the net. I think in terms of veterans, they like to talk to another veteran, don't they?
That's why I started this, because I've been through therapy myself, and the thing I hated about it was they used to say that I know how you feel when they didn't. That's what I hated. So
do therapists say that?
Yeah. They know exactly how I feel, but they were about 22-year-old and they just finished uni, so they didn't exactly know what I thought.
I can honestly say in 30 years I've been working in Sunderland as a therapist, I've never ever said that, Joe.
Good.
I think
Good.
a lot of
biggest gripe from veterans is civilians saying that to them.
How could a civilian understand what a veteran has experienced?
Exactly.
They're there to support that person. But quite often, I think they fall through the loop with counseling alone. Talking therapy is great, and you're helping someone release emotion that's possibly been suppressed for a lot of years. But I think it's also very important to have a heart brain connection there. And this is where I utilize hypnotherapy with post traumatic stress disorder. I specialize more anxiety, depression, and bereavement counseling. But when it comes to deep rooted emotional conflict, I find hypnotherapy very beneficial.
Well, I had psychologists and psychiatrists, and to be honest, it wasn't really for me. You know, I had people to talk to, like me family and stuff. So I was lucky in that way. A lot of people like to talk to people that have got no sort of ties with them. They feel better like that, but I felt the opposite. I felt that I could speak to somebody else, you know. And like now, I don't do any kind of supervision or anything for myself, you know, clinical supervision, because
Right.
I'd rather I'm all right with it. You know, I'm all right with not speaking about my problems. I don't have problems. We have a great life, luckily enough.
There's not many people can say that.
Well, I
But
mean, I've come from a position where I had problems where I wanted to kill myself. So to where I am now, I haven't got any problems, you know. So that's the way I look at it all the time. My life's great, and I'm busy, and I'm not. The pinnacle thing of it is I'm not taking drugs. When before I would smoke loads of weed all the time. Well, I ended up addicted to painkillers from a back injury. So that since I stopped that, that's been a massive difference in my life.
so I think a lot of veterans rely on alcohol.
Hmm. Yeah, I
And
went through the alcohol stage as well. Not as bad though. I mean, I liked smoking weed. I had a really good time, but when I was taking loads of opiates, as in like tramadol and stuff like that for me back, that just became an addiction. And then basically I was just wasting away. I wasn't leaving the house. You know, all the muscles and my legs and that were gone. So once I stopped that, and I think that part changed my life. Stopping taking any kind of tablets. Now I struggle even taking paracetamol. Even at
good.
the start of it, I don't want it. I've just been bad there, and I had to take strong painkillers, and I hated myself taking them.
So you've got a back injury. Is that from your war service?
No, bizarrely, I got attacked off two dogs.
Oh, right.
It's quite a funny story, to be honest, because I
Yeah.
was going to a therapist about PTSD, and they told
You
us to
didn't
get
get attacked on the way to the therapist,
no, they
please.
told us to get a dog that'll get us out more. So I got a dog, and then I got attacked off some dogs. So I ended up
So you
with
really got.
I ended up with three discs out my back. I've got 28 stitches in my arm. Quite a few injuries, like, but you know the back was the problem because it never got sorted for 10 years. So a lot of stuff happened in 10 years. If you imagine taking, I think it was about 30 painkillers a day for 10 years. You know, morphine
That's a lot.
also. So
So did you not get any advice or support from your GP to help you?
yeah, unfortunately, it
You
was
know,
all bad advice and support. So it was like, oh, I cannot really help you, but you've got a bad back. Just lie in bed all the time, which obviously is a bad thing. Then got a physio, which when they opened us up, my disc had totally disappeared because I've been on a physio all the time, and then the bone had grew over the top, so that chopped that off. So it was just bad advice I've got all the time. You know, what I did is once I'd started swimming every day and trying to build the muscle up around my spine, that's what sort of helped. But once I stopped the painkillers, you've got more drive then. You know, you've got a thing to see what I'm gonna do. I mean, they said I'd never run again, and I want to run a marathon this year.
oh,
Just
great.
just to prove. I see I'm going to run a marathon. I'm going to attempt to run a marathon.
You haven't done it
I haven't
yet.
done it yet. So
Come
I've run
back
a
to me
half a
when you've
marathon
done
before.
it.
I've run a half of one before, so it's just like that, but running back as well. So can't be that difficult. Other people do it dressed as dinosaurs and that, don't they? So
So if you've built up muscle in your back, then your spine is supported. But
yeah.
I don't know anything about backs; it's not my area. But
Well, well, if you
I
do,
sympathise if you're in pain constantly.
yeah. Well, the thing was, this is why the depression started, because as soon as I woke up on a morning, as soon as I opened my eyes, I knew that I was going to be in pain all day. Didn't matter what drugs I took, I was going to be in pain till I went back to sleep. So, I was got to the stage where I was, because you have to eat when you take the strong painkillers. So it
Yeah.
got to the stage where I was just, every time I was eating, I was taking painkillers, because I was thinking I mightn't be hungry later on when when I need to take painkillers. It's a slippery slope, and I'm not calling them. Well, I am calling them, I suppose, but my GP was just saying,
I hope he's
but
not listening.
yeah, he doesn't watch this shit. He was just like, take this kind of tablet because that'll thing to that, and then just add that one, and it's just, in the end it was just ridiculous.
And then the dosage builds up. You're
Yeah, yeah.
taking more
And
and
then
high
your
doses.
tolerance builds up, so that means you need more, and you shouldn't be taking all them tablets all the time. Man. I'd recommend to my clients, like, if you can get away with not taking tablets, that's the thing. Some people need them, but strong painkillers like diazepam and tramadol and stuff like that, man. I could hardly function. I would hardly function. All I was doing is getting stoned and watching Jamie Oliver cook meals all day. I spent about 10 years doing
Cooking
that.
and putting on weight.
Aye. Well, yeah, so I went through stages of putting on loads of weight and then losing loads of weight. It was proper weird, really weird. But I'm all right now. Just still fat, like, but I'm all right.
But you don't appear fat. We haven't met, but you don't look fat.
No, I'm fatter than I normally is,
Or
but
overweight.
I'm putting that down to lockdown. By the time I've run a marathon, I'm sure I'll be skinnier.
Oh, right. Well, I think we've all built up some kind of addictive behavior with lockdown. It's either retail therapy, eating, or in some instances, alcohol.
Yeah. Well, one of the it might sound a bit daft, but one of my addictions now is buying Adidas original trainers. So since in the year, I think I've bought nearly 60 pair in lockdown.
You can get therapy for compulsive
I
behavior
just
like
I
that.
just like them. I used to spend my money on drugs, but now I buy trainers instead. So at least I've got something to show for it. So I like looking on when I get up in the morning and pick what trainers I'm going to wear for work. So it's all right.
How many pairs? 60.
So I've bought nearly 60 in lockdown, so that's 60 in a year.
How could you possibly find time to wear that many pair of trainers?
Yeah. I've got hundreds of pairs. I wear a different pair for work every day.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't really laugh at you because if you open my wardrobe door, you'll see rows and rows of shoes.
Yeah, see, we all have our addictions.
We do, yes, we do. Yeah.
But I mean, like I say, I look at it and I think, well, I used to smoke that amount of money, but now I've got a pair of trainers. So I mean, it is ridiculous the amount I bought. But I mean, now I was talking about it in work. When they come through the door, I basically open the box, take one out, have a look at them, put them back in the box, and they're just gone on a pile. So until we can go out socialising, I'm not going to really wear them until I only wear them for work.
Well, that's how those of us who are doing retail therapy, myself included, we've got nowhere to wear or anything, shoes or clothing.
It's
But
ridiculous.
hopefully it'll be coming to an end soon. End of
Ah,
this month, we will see restrictions lifting and we can get back to a bit of normality. I think younger people are suffering a bit more.
yeah.
It's very hard for teenagers, youths in the 20s, to be so confined. It's not normal, is it?
No. I mean,
And
I'm not a big going to the pub sort of person, but I have sort of missed it. Maybe once a week I would go. I have missed that. But I miss the gym. because I use the gym as a thing for me when I leave work. So I don't take my work home. I go to the gym before I go home. So
Oh,
I've
that's
really
nice.
missed that, you know.
Yes, there's a lot of people missing gyms. And let's hope that gyms will still be open when lockdown ends.
Well,
There's a lot of
it's on our
businesses
calendar that it's opening on the 12th
on 12th of
of
April.
April. Of April, aye. I don't think they'll have classes. We like run our own circuit training and running club and walking club and stuff. So we
Yeah.
managed to do that, and we're allowed a certain amount of people. I think 15 people in a 30 group. We haven't never had that many, but we have still kept active. You know, there's something for them to do every day, because where the professionals do the therapy, we do the peer support. So basically, they can come here on a Monday at 9 o'clock, and they can come every day 9 till 5, and there's something for them to do.
So if someone was suicidal, is there, are your premises open 24/7?
No, they're not on 24/7. We would give them the 24-hour helpline for tills,
Right.
which there is somebody on there to speak to them during the night if that's the problems they've got. We're open till 9 till 5, because it started off obviously only me working 2 jobs, so I couldn't be 24 hours.
Right.
So they're allowed to come here and chill out, watch Netflix, be part of whatever we're doing that day. The art club's very popular, so you know, as long as they keep busy, and then there's things we can help them with, where therapy and things like that.
And you have accommodation for families, don't you?
Yeah, we have one sort of apartment, and there's enough room for up to a family of 4. That we use them because I can get people housed quite quickly. The majority of time we would only have somebody in there for 3 days, because that's basically going to be a weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and then I'd get them housed on the Monday, if it
Get them
came to that.
through.
If it
That's
came to
very
that, I mean,
difficult.
I'm lucky to have partnerships all over the city with housing providers and the council and stuff, so it happens pretty quick. I mean, the quickest we've getting someone from street homeless to a flat view in 15 minutes.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to beat that. Like, I
I
don't
don't
think.
think somehow, I think
No.
that might be a bit difficult to beat.
Yeah, we'll give it a go though.
Try half an hour, yeah.
Yeah, we seem to be hanging around if it's half an hour though, don't we? So,
So
go on. Sorry.
I was just about to say, I think you're a fan of Eva, aren't you? And Eva's challenges.
Yeah. I tell you what, she did a draw, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was brilliant. I thought, but they didn't put it out. They took it down. I was gutted, because I think that would have went viral. It was just
Oh,
so brilliant.
you see, that was probably my fault, because
Was it?
I didn't want her to feel embarrassed. I think she'd been distracted with a phone,
It kept falling.
and
Like somebody was ringing, so the phone kept falling. That
so
was
I had
brilliant.
to take it down. But you think we should have left it? And
I honestly think it would have went viral if you left it up. I did text them and say, please leave it up, because it have went viral, like, definitely. You know, it was so great. You know, and I because I've never ever wrote anything on anyone who does a Facebook Live, so I didn't realize it comes up on the screen. So
all
I'd
right,
said, this is brilliant. Is it on every week? And she read it out, but then made her laugh even more, and the phone fell again.
right,
So she should have
yeah.
left them on. It was great.
Well, that's down to me. So we like to have a little bit of fun, but I don't like to put her in a position where she might be embarrassed. But she's always looking for new challenges. So if you've got any ideas,
I'm sure we can think of something. I think
one,
she's walked from Seaham, hasn't she?
she's walked from Seaham, she's down the Veterans Walk in Mowbray Park. Some of the things she's done in her life, I don't think she'll mind me saying to you, she's actually swallowed a tarantula for a good cause. So she's definitely
It obviously wasn't a
game.
spider. It obviously wasn't a spider charity.
Well, I'm told, we're not looking at the cruelty to animals and creatures. But we're all doing a parachute jump, or we're hoping to do a
Aye.
parachute jump. in May. So we're looking for sponsors to help us with training there as well.
Where's that, Peterlee?
It's all in the mix at the moment. We haven't found a place that
Peterlee does it.
Peterlee's good.
Yeah, I did a skydive there a couple of years ago.
I noticed on your Facebook page. So what's your advice there apart from don't do it?
Just prepare to have a long day for 5 minutes, because time's everything to me. And I went there and spent something like 8 hours, and I took off, and then we just landed again. And I had to come back a couple of weeks later, and I spent another 5 hours sitting around waiting to get up. So it's all weather dependent. So I went there 8 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't home till tea time to jump out of a plane for 5 minutes. So that's that would be my advice.
You would need some training, surely.
Not if you're tied to somebody.
Yes, I saw the photograph. You were tied to someone.
Yeah,
Is that I suppose that's the safest way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the most exciting, because if you parachute, it's called static line. So you would jump out around about 2,500 feet with a line, and then when you jumped out, the parachute would open because it's attached.
Yes.
So that's called static line. So you would do that, but then you're only 2,500 feet, so it's only a minute to get down, if that. Whereas I jumped from 15,000 feet, and then so I think you free fall for quite a bit, and then the bloke parachutes you. But when I done it, the bloke after me crashed into a house, and he was a veteran as well. So I'm glad it was after me instead, because I might not want to do it anyway. Saying that I'd waited that long, I would have chucked myself off the plane without a parachute.
Say that again, sorry.
I'd waited that long, I probably would have jumped out the plane without a parachute. 8 hours sitting around.
It's the landings, I think, that bother me the most. You could hurt yourself, couldn't you?
Well, if you're attached to someone, he basically lands. You just keep his feet will be like that, and your feet will be up, so it doesn't hurt. But when I did static line when I was in the army, my best friend broke his knee.
Right.
He broke his knee, and we laughed like so. It cheered us up.
I can imagine you would, yes.
But he went off course, so he had to walk for about a mile with a broken knee, so made it even funnier.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll have no incidents.
If you see a house, try not to crash into it. That would be a tip.
I'll do my best. Yeah. Myself, Rob Devison, the woman that does our social media promotions. I don't know whether you've met Leslie, have you?
I've spoken to her on social media. I've never met her in person.
All right. She's an amazing social media person. She can get out a vast amount of work in such a short space of time. And her two daughters are going to do the jump as well. So that would be Eva and her sister Aisha.
So when are you planning May?
We're planning to do that in May. So we're hoping to promote that. And, people can either buy a ticket and support their favorite charity, or make, in hard times when cash flow is not always easy, they can make a donation from as little as £1. And it's via a PayPal link on our Facebook page.
Well, when after this, when you send us all the links and stuff, we can have them running across the bottom of here.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I can't, like, it's the bloke who does it, Joe from Tall Image. Social media and any kind of technology is not for me. Like, I don't run our social media. The girls in the office run the social media. I put photos on Instagram because I don't have to write anything. I just put a photo.
I've just recently this year been introduced to Instagram, so it's really pushed me into.
It's me, because I basically like photographs, so it's a good thing. I like that. Out of all of them, I like that. I think on Facebook and stuff like that, you just get photos of people's having for the tea. I can't be bothered with that.
Yeah, people go into an awful lot of detail about their personal lives.
Yeah, I don't share anything about my personal life. I wasn't even on social media before I started Vix. It's only because of Vix that I'm on social media. So I only put work stuff on. It's not for me where I'm going on holiday and what I'm eating for my tea. I'd rather keep that to myself.
Yes, I think people who advertise that they're going on holiday, it must be great for criminals.
It is, they get burgled.
Yeah.
Right, do you want to get anything out before we finish off there? Do you want to see the charities that you're helping?
Yes, well, we're helping yourself at
Yeah.
Vix and Brothers in Arms. Because we're all dog lovers as well, we're supporting Happy Days for Strays. They do some amazing work by taking animals in when their owners can't take care of them for short periods of time. And they actually have them, housed for little vacations. So they're a very worthwhile charity. Kathy's Big Bike Ride, which is a part of Brothers in Arms. And I think that's...
Minds at War?
I beg your pardon?
Minds at War?
Minds at War, yes. In It for Will.
Yeah.
So for us to help each your favorite charity, we need to know which charities anyone is supporting. You buy a ticket, and if you could leave comments for us on any recent post, we'll keep a record of who's supporting which charity.
Well, I didn't know that before when I bought them, because I would have said us, obviously.
Well, of course, yeah. Well,
you'll have to write that down. Make a note.
I'll automatically make a note. How many thousand tickets did you buy?
14.
40?
14,000 I bought.
You bought 14,000. Good.
Yeah, so I better win. With my luck, it'll be the number just after mine.
You've got 40. If you bought 14 tickets or 14,000 tickets, there's only 80,000 tickets being sold.
Oh well, I'll have to buy the rest of them. Right, thank you very much for coming on, and I'll be in touch. And hopefully
Thank you for having me, Joe. Sorry, Joe.
Joe, bye. See, I'll be in touch about my daughter using your studio.
Yes, what's your daughter's name?
Katie.
Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be happy to have her.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
You take care now. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.